Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the Africa Independent Television, and welcome to your program today. Your program, Secret to Watch Africa, is where we bring you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome to the program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambu. Today, we'll be looking at giving you a number of reports and a discussion that is quite important for our national security and sanity. Yes, we'll be having a guest with us to look at that issue, which is very, very important if there is a limit to protestation by citizens. Yes, but before then, let me take you to the Army headquarters where Elizabeth Tanko brings us a report from the Chief of Army Staff combined second and third quarter conference that was held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. Sit back as we bring you this report.
In his desire to tackle food insecurity in Nigeria, the Nigerian Army, under the leadership of Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, has commenced the review of the Nigerian Army agricultural policy and strengthened the Nigerian Army Farms and Ranches Limited. The Chief of the Army Staff disclosed this during the opening ceremony of the COAS Combined Second and Third Quarters Conference 2024 in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State.
As a way of strengthening a soft power approach to resolving Nigeria's food security challenge, the Nigerian Army will, in the coming days, review its agricultural policy to better position the Nigerian Army Farms and Ranches Limited to significantly boost crop production so that the Army can release grains into the market and highly subsidized rate in support of government efforts.
Speaking further, he expressed sadness over the loss of lives, destruction of public facilities, and looting witnessed in some states during the End Bad Governance protests.
The recent protests in the country, which were primarily driven by discontent over economic issues and government policies, resulted in significant unrest and, in some cases, violence. This situation reminded us that as an armed force, we must not only focus on physical security and defense of the nation, but our food and social security issues can snowball into physical security challenges. The protest that held between 1st and 10th August this year was likely driven by provocative and inciting social media traffic. Although it was professionally managed by the Nigerian Police Force, supported by the military and other security agencies, the challenge that it posed is a pointer to the fact that the military must always remain professional.
On the welfare of the Nigerian Army personnel, General Lagbaja pledged to continue to ensure that it remains a priority of his administration.
Troops welfare remains the cardinal point in my command philosophy. To this end, we have continued to fine-tune our welfare skills to benefit our personnel and their families. For instance, the Chief of Army Staff Personnel Empowerment Growth Scheme, launched during the first quarter conference in April, is already a huge success, as over 1,700 beneficiaries have been established with a waiting list of about 3,000 personnel.
The governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Eno, who was the special guest of honor, in his speech while declaring open the conference, commended the Nigerian Army for its progressive restructuring.
Since the assumption of office, I have been particularly impressed with the progressive restructuring of the Nigerian Army. I watch with great delight and pride that the Nigerian Army is constantly innovating and deepening its competence and professionalism as required of a modern army.
Pastor Umo lauded the successes of the security agencies in the country, while praising the Chief of the Army Staff for his sterling and exemplary leadership.
I must therefore commend the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T. Lagbaja, for the purposeful direction he has given to the Nigerian Army towards meeting his constitutional responsibility at some point in your illustrious career as the commander of the headquarters of the 2nd Brigade, Uyo. This to us, we believe, is like a homecoming for you.
Elizabeth Thanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. Yes, we'll take you quickly to the National Military Cemetery, where the late Lieutenant Commander Gwaza was buried during the week. It was a quite and a solemn moment to experience the burial of a young man who fought and ensured that people live. Sit back as Lucy Tawo brings us this report.
The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, has reaffirmed the Nigerian Navy's commitment to the welfare of its personnel, including those who lost their lives in the line of duty. The Naval Chief gave this affirmation during the funeral service of late Lieutenant Commander Gideon Yashim Gwaza, which held at the National Military Cemetery in Abuja.
As the Nigerian Navy and the Armed Forces of Nigeria, and in line with the provisions of the terms and conditions of service, we will never shy away from providing for the welfare of our men, and this includes even those that we have lost. So we will take it upon ourselves to do what is necessary and to be able to provide, to fill the gap that he has left, particularly in the family. We are making adequate arrangements to provide a befitting accommodation in one of our post-housing schemes for the family that he has left behind.
Vice Admiral Gala used the occasion to remind all naval personnel of their duty to the nation, emphasizing that the Navy would not shy away from fulfilling its obligation to those who serve and their families.
I want to use this opportunity, therefore, to remind all our servicemen and women that the role we are performing is a patriotic duty, and despite the risks to our life, we should not shy away from those roles. That is what we have signed for as soon as we enlisted into this service.
In her tribute, the widow of the late officer Salome Gwaza paid a heartfelt tribute to her husband, describing him as her pillar and best friend.
You were my #1 role model. It's hard for me to accept that you are no longer here. I wake up every day to see the cold space where you lived. GY, I see you in everything I do. Thank you for loving me, for making grand memories with us, and for taking care of the boys and I, my super navigator. You were very intelligent, you were selfless, you were dedicated and brave. You loved your job so well, and I'm glad you died as a hero.
In his sermon, the Director of Navy Chaplain, Lieutenant Commander Joseph Elias, reflected on the sacrifices made by Lieutenant Commander Gwaza and urged that his example be followed.
Today, he's here speaking to us. Gideon is speaking to you and me. Gideon is speaking to every officer, every civilian, every husband, every father, every mother. He's speaking. He knew that he will not get tomorrow. And that's why on that fateful day, compelled by love, compelled by loyalty, dedication, integrity, and sacrifice, he took the risks. He laid down his life so that others will live. A type of Jesus, a type of character and life of Jesus. And that's supposed to be the life of every true soldier. Anyone that is called a good soldier should live a life of sacrifice.
It to be recalled that the late officer died while saving the lives of some people from drowning. Lucy Tawu reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Yes, let's go again. The Nigeria Police, the FCT command, had achieved some success in the arrest of the killer of the son of the former chief of naval staff. During the week, the Commissioner of Police, CP Bennett Igwe, now promoted yesterday as an Assistant Inspector General of Police, paraded those are the person that masterminded and carried out the art of killing the son of one of his boss. Sit back as again Elizabeth Tanko brings us the report.
The police in the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja seems to have unraveled the mystery behind the gruesome murder of Aminu Ibrahim, the son of a former chief of naval staff, late Admiral I. Ibrahim, who was killed on the 18th of August 2024 in Abuja. The suspect, Abdulrashid Mohammed, was paraded along with other criminal suspects by the Commissioner of Police, FCT Command, Bernard Igwe.
2 weeks ago, Aminu Ibrahim, the son of Vice Admiral I. Ibrahim, a former chief of naval staff, was robbed and killed in Maitama area of Abuja, and his Prado SUV removed. So today, I want to inform you that Abdulrashid Mohammed, look at him here, Abdulrashid Mohammed, he said he's a naval officer, is him that killed the boy and took the SUV, the Prado Jeep. We have recovered the Prado Jeep, this is him that did the killing.
CP Igwe spoke on the arrest of ATM card theft suspect.
These two young men are twins. They live in Libe. What they do is they will go to ATM gallery. If we show you the video of what they do, they will go to ATM gallery and pretend that they come to withdraw money. They have different ATMs with them. Every bank ATM they have. So if you come to withdraw money, if you see they see you that you are elderly or you are naive of the workings of the ATM, as you are about to do, one of them will tap you behind. As you turn back, the other one will collect the ATM from you and give you another ATM of the same bank and ask you to slot it in. Once you move, they will use their own to withdraw the whole money in the account immediately. The second way they operate is that when they discover that you are naive, they will tell you, give them, let them slot in for you. They will slot in at the right place. They will tell you how they used to do it. So when they slot it in, your PIN number will show. They will tell you that the PIN number, your ATM is not working well. You should go to the bank, inside the bank. Go to the nearest bank to report. So as soon as you move to report to the nearest bank, before you reach the bank itself, they have used their PIN number and siphoned the whole money.
Elizabeth Thanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Once again, congratulations to the FCT Police Command for that success, and congratulations to all the officers that were their promotion were announced yesterday, particularly the current Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, CP Adegoke Fayode. Congratulations, as you have been promoted to the rank of an Assistant Inspector General of Police. Yes, let's go for a short break, after which we'll start our communication, our discussions. Welcome back. Yes, we have to go straight to the topic we are discussing today. Let me introduce my guest who is seated here. It's no longer a guest, he's part of Security Watch Africa, now talking about Chimezie Onyeadike, social coordinator. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Same
Thank
here.
you. Yes, let's just take this brief introduction to kick off the discussion.
When in the morning of Sunday, the 25th August 2024, some residents of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, were thrown into panic as members of the proscribed Islamic movement of Nigeria, popularly known as Shide Group, attacked some police personnel in Wuse area of the city. This resulted in the killing of 2 police officers with some critically injured. On Wednesday this week, the Commissioner of Police, FCT Command, CP Bernard Igwe, paraded some arrested members of the Shide Group.
They will cover it and send it to their sponsors overseas and tell them that Nigeria police government have killed one of them. They will dress it, this is the head. They will dress it up and it will look like a human being so that they will send them money and they will continue to send them money. So look at what they do.
You can see how blood stained the cutlass. Look at it. Look at this one. You can see wickedness. Look at their walking purpose. They coordinate their movement. Look at their walking purpose.
You have 94 of them here. 94. They are here complete. They are prescribed.
Yeah, that set the tone for our discussion. Yes, you saw this. It happened about a week ago in Abuja. Now, the issue now is this group is outlawed, is prescribed by the law because of past history of being violent. Is there no way that this can be checked so that they should not continue to disturb innocent residents and even kill security personnel?
Yes, I believe so. I recall that earlier, I think it was towards the end of the month of July, that the Nigerian police, I don't know if it's FCT Command or Force Headquarters, put out an alert banning the annual procession of the IMN, and they made it public. And one of the things I believe that every law-abiding citizen of Nigeria should always do, irrespective of your religious or political inclination, is to make sure that first and foremost you always abide by the law, and then you can engage the law enforcement agencies based on whatever it is you want to do. But they defied that pronouncement. And I was even shocked that they actually carried out the march and all of that, because I was banking on that pronouncement, by that announcement by the Nigerian police, that they would abide by it. And if there will be any need to engage with the Nigerian police as to why it is important for them to exercise their right to religious freedom, but it would have to be within the confines of the law, with what the law has said. So I was shocked that actually there was such a protest, and so there was such a procession, and it eventually degenerated into unspeakable violence being meted out to agents of the Nigerian officers of the Nigerian police. And I think it's becoming one too many. Nigerian citizens, not even criminals now, ordinary citizens carrying out attacks on law enforcement agencies. It's becoming one too many, and I think that the federal government have to take a hard stance and look into it and begin to be very proactive towards such things and prevent it from becoming the norm in the society.
Yeah, you know, when in 2018 this happened, similar thing happened, and they even confronted the convoy of the chief of army staff then, and resulted to the arrest of their leader.
Yes.
You know, and eventually their leader was released because there were a lot of pressure were being placed on government, and now he's released, he's wherever he is. Yet he still cannot control, because during his incarceration, his detention, they were saying once he's released, they will stop this violence, but it's been released over 2 years now, and yet they're continuing. Now, is it not calling for another hardline stand by the government against this same group?
Yes, I would want to think in that direction, but I also believe that sometimes when leaders of movements don't take a well-defined stand on some of the activities of the members of their groups, it begs the question if truly, you know, some announcements they make or some things, some positions they take, if truly they want to control and make sure that they curb some potential excesses of their groups. I think it is very imperative that if you are a leader of a movement, religious, political, you need to be seen to be in control. And it's not just by some form of soft announcements. You need to come out and publicly disown whatever activities and then give pronouncements limiting some of the actions or some of the activities of members of your groups, because the truth of the matter is you cannot vouch for every member within the group. So
exactly.
you have to be seen as a tough leader that gives pronouncements and it is adhered to. The same way you were giving pronouncements in the past and they were adhering to it and carrying out some, you know, allegedly heinous crimes and activities in Zaria then, it is the same way you should take a tough position and let them know that we have to be law-abiding citizens so that we can freely exercise our rights to religious freedom. If we keep being reckless and feeling above the law and the rest of it, government would definitely take a stand that would be detrimental to our rights to exercise
but don't you think sometimes some of these leaders, as you caution them, may actually, with their body language, be encouraging some of those things? Because like you saw, the Commissioner of Police paraded a doll that they used to dress, and and that is to use to solicit for funds from their people who fund them outside. Yes. The same thing other religious groups do, because they will just come out with some spoilers report to say so many of their members have been killed.
Yes.
And, you know, religion is the opium of the people.
Of course.
But some countries control it so much, like Rwanda in Africa and China and all that. Is there a way we can control this without infringing on the rights of the citizen, even as we are getting signal to end the discussion?
Most definitely. One of the things I believe that, you know, as part of mass education is that government should embark on letting citizens understand what fundamental human rights are. It is fundamental. It is basic human right. It is not, how do I put it? It's not overreaching.
Overreaching.
It's basic. So what it means is that you can only exercise it to a particular point. When it begins to infringe on another person's rights, it becomes a crime. So I think government should embark on proper education that citizens should understand what their fundamental human rights are, so that it's not tomorrow you will start shouting and claiming that we have the right of procession, we have the right of assembly, we have the right of religious freedom, while you are infringing on the rights of other citizens. So I think the first thing that needs to be done is engage in mass education, because the truth of the matter is that most Nigerians don't really even know where their limits end, where it has stopped. They feel that once you hear human rights, it's your right to do anything, and if government, through its law enforcement agencies, you know, prosecute you or something, you start shouting, as we always see. Yeah. You start screaming, you hear everybody screaming, my rights are being trampled upon, my rights are being trampled upon, and the rest of it. So we need to really, really educate our citizenry on what these rights are, how far they can be exercised, and what it means for you to infringe on the rights of other citizens.
You know, because saying this just reminded me of so another religious group that the pastor told their members to pay some money, aircraft will take them to heaven, and he locked them up somewhere and all that. Also, infringing of the rights of those worshippers.
Oh, yes.
You see, so you can see both ways. They can use it against their worshippers. It's actually a pleasure to have this short discussion with you. But on a final note, how do we embrace religion in this country, really? Because some people have said we pray so much in this country, and yet productivity and religiosity is also very low among us.
Yes, one of the things I always tell people is that you can claim to be praying in the sense, and it's, but it would be open and obvious to everybody that you're actually not praying. One of the evidence of actually praying for the country is your good behavior, your dedication to being a good citizen. You cannot claim to be praying and at the same time your activities point in a different direction. The things you stand for point in a different direction. You encourage criminality within your locality. You encourage misbehavior. Something as simple as traffic lights. In Abuja,
Exactly.
you hardly see motorists obey, and then these people always pray. That's why I said, no, the evidence of your praying is your actions, is what you are doing, your character. So if you do not adhere to something as simple as obeying traffic lights, then you cannot convince me that you are actually praying. And to me, it's a waste of time until you change yourself to the point where simple instructions, simple rules and regulations are obeyed. You see them park on pedestrian walkways, and you ask the question, you know that this is a pedestrian walkway. Why would you park your vehicle on a pedestrian walkway? So good behavior is evidence of prayer. As far as there is no general good behavior amongst the citizens, I cannot be convinced that they are actually praying.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
We really appreciate you once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, viewers, if you are joining us, this is the end of this episode. I guess you must have picked one or two things from our guests who have spoken so eloquently on the issue on discussion today. Until next week, I'll say bye for now and remain blessed.